Las Vegas, the entertainment, music, and sports capital of the world, it's the JJ and Johnny Show.
Where have we been?
Where have we been? We're back. We are back. JJ, Johnny, and Cass.
Hello.
Do we have Cass Cam set up? It's been a while.
Cass Cam
Cass
is up.
Cam.
Jazz Cam is alive and well. We are back in Las Vegas, guys. We've really missed you. It is mid to late February, and we've taken a bit of a hiatus.
Which all the big shows do.
Yeah, all the
All
big
the big
shows.
They
Saturday Night
take
Live.
they take hiatuses.
Bill
And
Maher.
Bill Maher,
Yeah,
they're gone
yeah.
for months at a time.
Oh, yeah, all the
working
shows
on
you stream.
independent, projects, and then we come
Mrs.
back.
Maisel. I mean, sometimes people are on
Mrs.
hiatus for
Maisel.
like a year.
Yeah, Sopranos used to
Right?
take an entire year off. Mad
they
Men,
really?
all the real, they would take a long time off. We've taken our long time off, but we are back. We love Las Vegas. We love you for watching, and we're here to do what we do best, which is talk. We just love
Talk
to
a lot.
Talk a lot.
So let's talk about how nice it was actually when you take a break. Then you have kind of like time to disconnect.
Holy crap, you're live.
And I know, Mr. Robbie!
Mr.
We're
Robbie.
back.
We love Robbie.
Now give us $5. Just kidding. We miss you.
We miss you.
Thank
we
you
love
for
our
noticing.
consistent. We love our fan. We love our fan.
Don't we?
He's
do.
very consistent,
do.
Mr. Robbie.
The good thing about taking a break, Mr. Robbie, as you know, is that sometimes you can like kind of let go a thing, because by doing the podcast for 6 months in a row last year, every week we're just like, okay, what's this week? What's this week? What's this week?
Right.
And we got to kind of put it down, focus on some other things. We saw each other over the holidays. We shared a meal.
Yeah. In her beautiful home.
Yes, with
Beautiful.
beautiful company. John and his wife came over. We had a dinner, and we just were like,
Dinner.
we were people.
We were people just talking.
Sometimes you just have to stop working and be people.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had to put her dog down. It was very annoying. So that was, that was kind of a...
That's not real, right?
My dog? Take that back.
Don't put that out in the universe, please.
I do have a very old dog. I don't know how old I know. She's so cute, though. You know what? I was hugging on my old dog yesterday. And
I have an old dog, too.
she has this little curly hair on top of her hair. Like her fur is just as cute as it was when she was a puppy. And I thought, she's just like a little grandma dog.
Yeah.
And I love
that
it.
tuft of hair is really funny.
It's just so cute.
We have an old dog at my house, too. We have French Fry, who's just... he's a two-track mind, sleeping and eating. Pooping fits in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But pretty much it's just eating and sleeping.
You know, I've discovered a magic with getting the dogs to poop.
Oh, there's no magic at our house. They just...
They're good.
Yeah.
They flow.
Yeah. Olive will poop. Olive will poop at the drop of a hat.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She's got a good system.
No system at all. It's just anywhere she is at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's got a little loose situation
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, do you want to hear my go-to fix
Yeah,
for dog
please.
tummy issues? Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin out of the can. No sugar in it, of course. Like pumpkin.
Huh.
Yeah.
What does that do?
It's so good for their digestive system. It just works things out.
Really?
Like a teaspoon of pumpkin. Who's with me? Mr. Robbie, do you have a pet? Yeah, you got to try it. I'm going to get you some pumpkin
Okay.
and see what it does. I mean,
I would love-
you never want to
You'll have to
overdo a thing,
convince.
but-
You'll have to convince Michelle.
The powers that be.
obviously. Yeah, the powers that be.
Yeah.
The head of the household.
The head of the household.
Yeah.
Who was the head of the household with you growing up?
Oh, my dad. I mean,
Is that so?
he was a World War II veteran. Yeah, so it was a different time. It was a different time.
Was it,
You know.
were things kind of...
Cut and dried.
Is that so?
Yeah, because he worked at a steel plant, and he would
Oh,
come home from
damn.
work, and he wanted dinner at a certain time. He'd come home, sit down, read the paper. Remember those? And then my mom would have dinner at a very specific time. We'd finish dinner, and then he'd watch TV and finish reading, and then he would go to bed. My mom would make his lunch the next day.
What did he take his lunch to work in?
In a paper bag.
Paper?
Yeah,
Okay.
paper bag.
Brown?
But it was, brown paper. Yeah. The funny thing was she left a note for him every day for 35 years.
Wow.
What do you suppose she said?
It said,
Love you.
John, don't forget your lunch.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He was John too?
Yeah, he was my father. Yeah, John.
Oh,
So it
my
was funny because
gosh.
it was to the basement door, which was out the back to his truck, his pickup truck.
The same note? Did she
Same
just
note,
put
but
the
over
same
time
note
it would
out?
get beaten up, so
And
she'd have
she'd
to
have to
make.
redo
My
it.
mom had beautiful handwriting.
Oh,
because she went to
gosh.
Catholic school. She
Yeah.
had that beautiful cursive.
Oh,
But I
John.
remember seeing that.
Don't forget
remember
your lunch.
Don't forget your lunch. Yeah, it was
How
so
she said
funny.
it? Don't forget your lunch.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
Did your mom smoke?
She was chain smoker. They're both chain smokers.
For reals?
Yeah, oh, yeah, they're both chain smokers, and
Oh.
we had the ceramic ashtrays
Wow.
loaded with butts all over the house.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We
I
had
grew up
the,
in a very non-smoking house.
Oh,
'cause
I know.
my-
I've seen your
yeah.
house. I've seen your house.
Yeah, very
yeah,
well.
had-
My dad was a lung surgeon,
yeah.
so he literally operated on people. So smoking, like, it was better if I like robbed a bank than was
Smoke.
caught smoking.
Yeah.
That was like the family sin.
Well, the
Yeah,
funny
would be
thing
the-
is, I was around
smoke.
cigarettes my entire life, and I just
Wow.
never wanted to smoke.
That's incredible.
Never wanted to smoke. And then this was in the 70s when I was in, I was grade school was in the late 60s, but in first through whatever, there was a big program in the U.S. to get people to stop smoking. And they
Yeah.
talked about smoking, like, get your parents to stop smoking, get your parents to stop smoking. And it was a very successful program. And the funny thing is, that would never happen today. That program wouldn't even be allowed in public schools.
Because, like, in what ways? Because it was too much influence, like asking kids to, we have one of our viewers, Kitty. Hi, Kitty. Kitty, we're glad
Kitty
you're
Witty.
watching. Kitty Witty?
Sounds like my family
Kitty?
growing up.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume Johnny's family sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's incredible.
Unless it was the
So-
hippie family.
So, actually, we weren't hippies. John saw the
Well, he's
inside
a
of my
doctor.
house.
He's a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we weren't hip. No, my parents were not hippies.
Probably the opposite.
They
of
were
hippies.
too straight-laced for hippies.
Right.
Yeah. But my mom's an artist.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, there was
Hippie
creativity,
influence.
but just no, they
Yep,
were,
Johnny's.
they were literally like 3 years, they got married in 62. So you got to figure.
Year I was born.
They were 3 years before the hippie generation.
Oh,
they
they
were
were-
the
yeah.
very last of the 50s kind of,
Yeah.
But my parents are cool. Even though they're conservative, they're very, very open-minded.
Yeah.
Very open-minded.
I was always
Yeah.
amazed when I look at the decade I was born in. If you look at the beginning of the decade, it's still, white shirts and black ties,
Yep.
and everyone looked like they worked for IBM.
Short
And that
hair.
whole thing. And I know the Beatles had something to do with it, but if you look at this progression of when this mindset came and fashions changed, because there's never been a period of time like that in the U.S. and I guess that was all over the world. But this whole stylistic change, and you saw it in England too.
Well, like a revolution so quickly.
yeah,
Although,
so
I mean,
quickly,
here's the thing.
like in 24 months.
Let's be honest, though. We are most familiar with the generations where we've been alive.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Was 1900 to 1910 like we know the 1920s were super revolutionary,
Right.
Style-wise, culture-wise, music-wise, everything, cars, everything. But we don't know if they might have said the same thing. Like, did the 20s start one way? Did ladies still have corsets and buns at the top of the 20s, and then by
Right.
the end they're like, woo! I love the 20s. I love the 20s.
And there were fashion changes then, but specifically there wasn't, and there was kind of an open free love thing in the 20s.
Yeah, there was.
And
huh?
then
Like a
World
bohemian
War
thing.
One came
I'm just
and
saying
kind of
we-
affected.
We didn't firsthand experience it, so I wonder
true.
if it was.
No, but everyone's in agreement. Like the 60s was the most changing decade in history.
Holy
as far as,
moly!
what? Who's here?
We have to have a big moment because we have a Canadian watching right now.
Canadian.
And I don't know if you know this, but there's a huge.
Hello, doctor.
There's a
I
huge.
know her very well. I've actually
Doctor,
spoken to her.
Are you watching the Canada-USA hockey game this evening? I believe it's at 5:00 from Boston. Because
Booed.
they lost. We won them last week, and this is.
This is
a
gonna be
big
big.
game.
It's a big
It's
game.
a big game. Are you watching?
Well, when you guys become the 51st state, it'll all be different. You'll just be part of us, and we'll just subsume you. We're going to have the 51st state of Canada. It's going to be tremendous.
Mr. Robbie would like to give a shout out to producer Cass.
Ah.
Producer Cass, how was the break for you, by the way? Because we've been on hiatus for about 8 weeks.
It was horrible. I couldn't be here with you guys.
The funny thing is, Cass is with me 5 days a week, unless I'm on the road doing a meeting or performing or something. So,
Yeah, but we're talking about her hiatus from the show, John.
oh no, I
not
know,
about
I
you.
realize that. I'm just, but it's all about me, folks. It's all about me.
It
I
was
like
good
this.
though.
This is
Yeah,
good.
this
This
is kind of a cool layout,
so,
right?
So right now we're gonna
I feel like we're Cass's parents calling her on FaceTime. Honey, how's college?
It's
How's
more like
everything in
this.
Have you
Vegas?
met?
It's like this. Hi, honey. How are you?
I know we're too well produced for parents, aren't we?
Oh my God.
It's good to be back, though. I'm glad we're back.
So
in the
Mr.
studio.
Robbie, Kitty Witty,
Oh,
Dr.
Germany.
Alina,
Germany, 2 times Germany.
2 times Germany.
Oh, I love Germany so
Meow.
much. I do love
51st.
Germany.
Deutschland.
Germany is an extraordinarily clean country.
Oh
and
my,
the thing-
it's so clean.
the
I
thing
love it there.
about Germans is they always say, "Oh no, Germans are really uptight or like high-strung," and I don't get it. Now maybe that's because I spend most of my time in pubs when I go there.
In Germany?
The people in Germany can literally like drink for 12 hours and then go work a full day and go back to the pub. I don't know how they do it.
I 2 stories about Germany. I love the German people, incredibly intelligent, hardworking. I was there with, long story, but I was there with a friend of a friend. We were near one of the air bases. I forget the name of where we were, but a friend of his lived in the village in the town. German. Oh yeah, German. And he said, "Hey, we're going to help my friend in town do something on his farm." His farm was in the middle of the town. It was the oddest thing. But we had done some work around the farm. He said, "Hey, do you want something to drink?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." He gave us beer at like 10 in the morning, but it was like syrup. It was so thick. The beer was so, it was like lots of calories to help. I'm doing Arnold, but I was just amazed. But in this village,
I did think your friend was kind of hot and muscly.
was
Was it good? Was
in
it
this
good
village,
in the
It's just-
context of doing work outside? Like
doing
was
work
it-
outside,
was
but
it
having
great?
any kind of alcohol. I cannot stand alcohol during the day. I don't know why. Germans, you guys can drink
Interesting.
all the time. But in that same village on Saturday, everybody was outside washing their house, the exterior of their home. I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, what is happening here? They go, oh yeah, they do that like once a month. They wash the exterior of the house. I'm like, why? Is there acid rain or something? It blew my mind.
Dude, they're just taking care of things.
They love it. They're so great.
Nice and orderly.
Germans are always
I
grumpy as hell.
I love it.
Did we see
We're
somebody?
always grumpy. Is
Did
that
somebody-
true? Well, okay.
Are they grumpy? I think they're just
grumpy.
serious. I think they're serious people. Congratulations, Mr. Robbie. I'm 2 years behind you. 2 years behind
What
you.
did Robbie have? A birthday?
64.
64.
And when I'm 64.
64. Will you still love me? Will you still watch the podcast when you're 64?
Well, he's here, so he's obviously
Clearly.
he's doing it. Was
Clearly.
somebody from Denmark cast, or did I see something?
Okay,
Yes.
let's talk birthday cake.
I love this as international.
Danish.
We have
Let's do
an
this.
international audience.
Let's do this.
Danish. Okay.
By the way, I'm not trying to feel myself. It's just that I keep losing my microphone. Okay.
Oh, you lost your little
I know,
afro.
my clip came
you
off.
lost your afro.
I'm just barely here, people. Okay. Birthday cake. So my husband just had his birthday cake last week.
Billy!
I know that I think it's really selfish when you have a birthday, like in the family. I'm talking really intimate. Like there's only a small handful of people you're responsible for a cake, right?
Right.
Okay. I think the generous thing to do is get the person the kind of cake flavor they want,
Yes.
not really like your favorite cake that you
Yeah,
want to
of
get
course.
them. Don't you think there's an art to that?
Yeah.
Have you ever been given someone else's favorite cake
Yeah.
and had to kind of fake that you were excited about
Oh,
it?
look at this cake.
I
This is
have.
Nice. Yeah.
So I
kinda
got
messed
Billy a
up.
blackberry. So what's your go-to birthday cake?
Blackberry.
Like a what's it called? Fruit. He likes fruit.
It's funny. I love chocolate, but chocolate cake sometimes is too much chocolate.
Yes.
So it's just
not true.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
So something with chocolate and a vanilla cake is like very well balanced.
Yeah, to
for
kind
me.
of to kind of lighten up the
Yeah.
chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love chocolate cake, but I just can't have it. It's
Well,
too much.
also, if you like, if you're having one slice, like at a restaurant after dinner, and it's like they bring you the food,
Mm-hmm.
then it's one thing. But if you're bringing home like a full cake, and then
Yeah.
you have chocolate every night for like 12 nights, it's a little
Oh,
much.
yeah.
It's a little much.
William, I agree with you. Red velvet.
Oh, red velvet is
velvet.
excellent.
Love
If you
I
can
just
get
love
it.
it.
You sometimes you just can't get a red velvet cake, but red velvet.
Why is it
that
so
is my
good?
choice. That is my choice.
It's really just a
cheese
light
frosting.
chocolate cake,
Yeah.
isn't it?
What's
It
that?
is. It's like
Red
chocolate
velvet's
light.
just kind of light chocolate.
Yeah,
It's still
a
chocolate.
lighter, but there's the
It's
taste
just
is
yummy.
different, and the
Sometimes they put
the
white frosting on
the
it.
white frosting with the red
Ah.
velvet.
And then, like,
Ireland, hello Ireland.
what is going on?
I
We have people
love
from all
this.
around the world. So, guys, if you're watching right now and you're outside of the United States, we would love to hear an update from your region. Tell us what's happening today in your hometown.
Because we're sick
your
of hearing
country.
about our country.
Right, because
Yeah.
it's just 24 hours a day
Yeah.
here.
I'm just gonna have to hold this mic. This is what I'm gonna do. Mr. Robbie, did you have a birthday
Fried
cake?
frogs,
Let's
delicious
just start a
chocolate cake.
conversation, an international conversation about birthday cake. For instance, what would be the go-to birthday cake in Ireland?
Oh, that's a great question.
I don't know why I figured like they're gonna be
Carousel Cakes,
It's
New York. Next door to the Rockland Bakery. Best red velvet cake on earth.
Wow.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
are you
have to try
serious? In New York?
Yep.
Guys, write that down. Carousel Cakes.
Write that down.
Never been. Sounds really good.
No birthday cake?
Yay.
Sorry. Oh, I'm on a diet again. Oh boy. Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't even have a cut of my birthday cake in November. I was very good about that.
oh really?
Yeah. Yeah.
At
I
your
made-
your party at Fletcher
at Fletcher.
Cantina?
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg was there. I mean, the next day, but he was there.
So John had a great gathering of so many friends. It was like
125
a big, yeah, it was a big gathering.
Yeah.
A restaurant party at this place called Fletcher Cantina that's really new in Vegas that actor Mark Wahlberg opened. And it was a great night.
Yeah, it was
I
a
loved
great
it.
night. They worked with us, and they
was
just
fun.
did an amazing. The food, the room we were in, the private room we were in is huge. It was 125 people. The food was great. The bartenders and the staff were incredible. And speaking of new restaurants,
What?
there's the new golf place at Town Square. Right. There's the new Indian restaurant, Indian Fusion, high end, super high end. Michelle and I were just there.
What?
And
What's
the
that? At
open
Town Square?
at Town Square. I felt like I was in New York City.
What?
It's so
And
marvelous.
guest house.
And guest house.
Right in the center of Town Square.
Right.
So we're having a very Vegas conversation, guys.
But
so
no,
maybe
you
we can
know,
make this a
you
little more
come
international.
here- Well,
for
if they
people.
come here, well, Indian is international.
I love, you know what? Good. I mean, Indian food is in such tiers, isn't it?
Yes.
Like
This is
really excellent.
high end.
Is it?
This is
So
high
So
end.
a little healthier, maybe.
I'm on a seafood.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not getting like massive amounts of food. You're getting
Mm.
incredibly well, created by a chef Indian food.
Okay. I'm gonna suggest that we all go around and talk about our go-to order. So my go-to order at Indian food is definitely like a chicken tikka masala. I want a little bit of rice. I want naan, and I want like
Naan.
garlic naan or onion naan. Like I
There-
just want the biggest, hottest naan, and then I want chutney,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe like a maybe like lentils or something. You know, I was spreading the
Yeah.
peas. Okay, what's yours?
I just
Go.
have to say, their truffle naan.
truffle naan.
Like black truffle naan.
Oh my god.
It
That's
looks
so
I saw it in
decadent.
a
Oh
photo.
my
I've never had
God.
truffle
Good.
naan.
It was so good. It was so good. My health, yeah. But I do like rice though, and I like taking the what's the
Like dal is the like chickpeas and stuff.
yeah. I love that. I love the specific kind of Indian rice. It's called
Saffron or no?
I forget the
I don't
exact
know.
name.
Sorry.
But I love when
Well,
you
they do cook it with
yeah.
saffron, right?
What's
Help
the
us.
yellow sauce? I'm blanking out on everything today.
You're thinking of like a curry. I think
Yeah,
you-
curry.
you
Yeah.
like a curry.
What's the yellow?
Yeah.
The yellow curry. There's-
Basmati rice?
Yes.
Yeah, but-
yes. Exactly.
Yeah, but basmati, when they make it yellow, that's with the saffron.
Yeah, this
I'm
is,
pretty
but
sure.
this is the regular standard color.
Okay,
the,
yeah.
the food
Just
there
clean.
was great.
I actually
But
like
love
a
Indian
clean
food.
rice too.
Yeah.
I don't need a bunch of stuff in my rice. Okay, what else? Chicken?
Chicken, lamb. I love lamb. I feel like
If you're gonna eat lamb, I would say that
Steve
is.
Carell. I love lamb. I love lamb. Yeah, the lamb is amazing. The chicken is amazing. I just love all that stuff, and I like it with a hint of spiciness.
Oh, it's got to be a
Yum.
little spicy.
Little spicy. That if I'm sweating,
Yep.
it's good.
Yes,
it's
I'm
good.
so in. You do. The problem with eating Indian food out though is it can be so heavily oily. So
yeah.
That's why I just really,
Evacuate.
I pick and
Evacuate.
choose. I pick and choose. It's just not even good for your gut, but it can be so healthy. So I think it's how it's cooked.
Yeah, it
Cass,
depends where
what
it is.
about you?
Hold on, we got Salt Lake
Oh.
City.
In Salt Lake
Rated
City area.
best Asian fusion restaurant,
Machin,
very
Machin,
reasonable.
Asian
Machin,
fusion.
Machin.
Well,
Oh,
that's-
cool. Okay,
that's
so
good to know.
Asian fusion could mean there's Indian food there.
Indonesian.
Indonesian. Wow.
Indonesian.
That's amazing.
Ooh, great tip.
Yeah, this is great.
I have
I
a
want to
niece and nephew in Salt Lake.
I want to hear about the
this.
birthday cake from Ireland. Actually, I want to hear from the birthday cake from everybody from all these different countries.
I don't know. Now, I'm probably totally off, but for some reason, I would think carrot cake would be a thing in Ireland. Why do I think
Oh, that's
that?
a good idea. I
Or
don't
maybe
even,
I think that's like British. I think a British countryside and like
And carrot
not
cake?
to confuse the two,
No.
or that they
we know
would
the
have
difference.
anything to do with each other. But I'm just saying, I think of the British countryside and I think of carrots.
Carrots.
Little bunnies,
Little
putting
bunnies
carrots in a basket.
little British bunnies eating
Can
carrots.
you tell I was raised on British fairy tales? What kind of books in your parents' house with
None.
your mom?
None. There were no books in the house. It's a joke, but it's not a joke.
Are you serious?
There were no books in the house. There was Reader's Digest, and that was it. And we had Encyclopedia Britannica.
Well, that's a book. I mean,
It's not like this.
Encyclopedia
wasn't
Britannica
like
was
the Great
like a
Gatsby
thing.
was hanging around. But yeah, I memorized the year, the 1969, everything.
I loved those.
yeah.
I love those.
was a
You
big
know,
help.
our encyclopedias are still in my mom's house
Wow.
from my childhood. We have a set from the 70s, which is brown and tan.
Yes.
And then we got a set in the early 80s. Like,
Was it
They were probably
teal
starting to phase
and
out.
off-white?
it was maroon red with gold
Yep.
writing.
Kitty Whitty, same household.
What the heck, Kitty Whitty?
Yeah, we didn't even have magazines. Well, my dad Playboy, but they were hidden. But we found them.
You know, so we did not have Playboy in my house. My dad read to me as
He
a child.
did. You just never found them.
No, not my dad.
Oh, really?
No, not my dad. He was too exhausted. He was too tired. I think he worked, so the man worked a lot.
Yeah.
However, my next door neighbor, my best friend Janine, her dad had Playboys, and what we used to do, we used to go when her parents were out of the house. We'd get all the Playboys and we'd line them up all over the living room, and yeah, and like
That's unusual.
No, we'd line them all up and count how many they were, and I don't know. We just thought it
Were
was
you
the-
rating the women on the cover?
It was her and I and her older brother.
Did you giggle?
We just giggled and we thought, oh my God, it was like boobies and other things. And oh yeah,
Other things.
it was
Yeah.
naughty
Yeah.
and forbidden.
But
and-
I read it for the articles, for the.
Was there?
deep-
Is there? I've never
deep
seen a Playboy
articles.
magazine. Was there actually copy in them?
Oh, there
There-
was a
yeah.
lot of copy.
Really?
Yeah,
the
like-
magazines were like this,
Yeah.
and there was like there were three spreads in each one. It was like an introductory story, new person coming to the scene, a young woman. Then there was the Playmate of the month, which was this famous centerfold.
January.
And then there was
Yeah.
usually another thing involving an actress or
Something
something
gross.
sexual, and then that was it. But it really was. If you look at a Playboy from 25 years ago, it was mostly reading material, and their interviews really
Interesting.
were very well known. And the person who started the Playboy interviews was the guy who created Roots. I forget
I was
famous
thinking the
writer
same
created
thing,
Roots.
Robbie.
he was the one who suggested to Hugh Hefner to have the interviews, and those interviews became very, very famous because they
Yeah.
interviewed well-known people.
No, they did. They had. It's really interesting to see where that
Martin Luther King and big
that
actors.
whole brand and content has evolved now that everything's online. And,
It seems quaint.
And porn
It seems quaint.
is
Literally everywhere.
apparently everywhere. Even sometimes you just get it in text messages from your friends, right?
Yes. Yes, but also I
John
feel
has a friend that porn bombs him. He sends him texts that look like something else, and when he clicks on it, it's porn.
But I think it's interesting how they're mainstreaming porn actors, because I was, I follow a lot of entrepreneurial things, and I'm going through stories, and they're interviewing a porn star who's like, well, I do the stripping, and I do the adult films, and I do this, and we have a product line, and we do this, and I'm thinking like, wow, this is things have really changed.
Yeah.
And they're doing OnlyFans, and I think it's fascinating.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like it at all. And
You're
I've even noticed
mainstreaming
in the
this
people
stuff.
I interview, like having worked in journalism for 20 years and done a lot of celebrity interviews, the people I interview, I'm being brought forward a little more folks like that. I don't care for it at all. Because I also think it's super unsexy. I think like keep porn, keep X-rated stuff, keep it quiet, keep it hidden, keep it adult.
Right.
I don't like it like all up in the public consumption for families. And also I think it kind of demystifies it. Like it's not even sexy.
Right. No, I agree. I'm just amazed that they're in so many businesses and they're out on podcasts that have nothing to do with the adult world, but have something to do with business, because it's just for them, it's just another avenue to reach their potential audience.
Yeah.
I just think it's, a little, some people may think that's great. Some people may not.
Yeah, there's a lot of different feelings about it, for sure. Yeah. Well, let's see. Now we have some people chiming in about Playboy and Penthouse. Oh my God, we got to touch on Penthouse. Did you get a message, Johnny?
No,
Would you
no,
like
no.
to share it with the
No, I
class?
have to go to another show, but I want to make sure we have time to get there. But it's not that far. I always found it interesting between Bob Guccione. I'm an Italian. And Bob Guccione. Hey, Guccione. Hey, we know what the gang you think. But Bob Guccione discovered something. It's illegal to have at that time, and I think it was this weird thing. But when Penthouse came out, you could not have a man and a woman engaging in sex, even softcore. But you could have two women. So he had found a workaround, and he was the first one to do girl on girl in magazines, and that kind of boosted it sales-wise above Playboy, and they went in a totally different direction. He ended up doing the Caligula movie. But he also, Bob Guccione, created Omni magazine, which was a science magazine.
All these gender disparity topics of conversation really get me riled. Do you know what I mean? Don't they with you, Cass? You're like, oh, that's a double standard, man. Man, that's baloney, man.
So
you know what, though? I have faith in the fact, though, that some things like don't change. Like a lot of the essential realities between men and women, or people partnering, okay, of any type of people, it still comes back to genuine connections.
Oh no, 100%. And I think
so.
that's so hardwired in us as humans. That you'll go further in life, emotionally and all the things with a partner,
a unit, or even a unit.
You will move further in life. Two people facing the world together.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that there aren't. I know we have people watching right now who are slaying it in a single track. And I have several family members who are unmarried, don't have kids, and are that's their track, man.
Yeah, and
they're so valuable to other people.
Yeah.
But I think you and I share that in common.
Right.
And Cass, you can chime in on this because you're living with someone, but you're unhitched. But that in the best case scenario, when you partner up with someone or find a significant other, you're actually better together. Multiple areas of your life improve.
Depending on the person.
Including your sex life.
Depending on the person.
Yeah,
they can either
gotta be
propel you or hold you back.
Get on camera. Oh my gosh, that's that.
Because I've been
truth.
divorced twice, so it's obvious,
Okay, so talk about that.
I mean, I think there's these type of people that can be parasitic and can hold you back and maybe just feed off of your energy, maybe to propel themselves forward, and at the same time it kind of pushes you down.
I think we've heard stories like that, and we've seen it happen to friends, and there's always we're getting a divorce, and you're like, thank God. You know, like that
Finally,
relationship's
yeah.
ending.
And it can affect
So-
people around you too, friends,
It-
family, and they see it
does.
happening. And they're like, this should not be
Should
happening.
not be,
Yeah.
this person is not right for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, talking about somebody who's single, sometimes somebody who is a better single person is in a relationship, and they're in it because everybody socially is in a marriage or a relationship. And some people have to realize that you're better suited by yourself. You know, not everybody is right for a relationship. And it's hard. Relationships are difficult.
They are.
Even
They are.
under the best circumstances.
Amen. Isn't that true?
So true.
And just living, I think living with someone is actually harder than like being committed, like monogamous to someone. I think living with someone 24 hours a day is just challenging.
It's too long.
It's
24 hours a day is
Why?
too
So
long.
can't you just go to the
Can't you
store
leave for some
like
time
3 hours?
and then come back later?
Sorry, we're sharing our own issues. I have to go do a
Relationships are
podcast.
hard. Yeah, but you know, and the thing it comes down to is like, are you in agreement? I don't just mean like agreement, but like the way you run the house, is that the same? Are you in alignment
Right.
on that? How do you feel about money? You know, I was divorced twice. After my first divorce, I had met a judge. I lived in central New Jersey at the time, and I met this judge where I worked out, a little older than me at the time. Maybe she was 40. Beautiful woman. She was single, which I thought was interesting. And when I first met her, I said, so what do you do? She goes, I'm a judge. And I'm like, oh, really? What kind of judge? She goes, family law. So I said, you handle divorces? And and I said, she goes, yeah, I've presided over thousands of divorces. I said, wow. I said, why do people get divorced? And she said, in all the years I've been doing this, I've been a judge, I've only seen 2 reasons. And of those 2, every now and then there's something else. But for the most part, overwhelmingly, it's one of 2 reasons or those 2 reasons together. And I said, oh, do tell. And she said, well, it's either sex, they're out of alignment.
Okay.
One partner wants more sex
Oh,
than
I
the
know what
other
the
one,
other one's gonna
or
be.
the attraction has ended, or the other one is money. And they said they go into a relationship and they've never discussed money. They've never discussed how they value money. And you might have a spendthrift and a saver, or their approach is to, and if your view on money is different than your partner's, you might as well be on the opposite ends of the political spectrum, because you'll never understand why a person spent money on something or refused to spend money on something.
That is super interesting.
And I just thought that was really interesting, and that really helped me develop, like, okay, what am I looking for in a partner? Because
good
usually
point.
it's like, you're pretty, let's get married. You know, because you take that from childhood
That was you,
through
right?
high school.
You were actually
through
Forrest Gump in your younger life.
Jenny. I love you, Jenny. You know,
Yeah,
but because
I
you're
was
always
so
like, who's the
controlled.
prettiest girl? And then that's not how a
I
relationship
made all
works.
my decisions based on hormones. Just like, you're hot. I want to be with
Well,
you
I think
forever.
a lot of guys do
it's
that
like,
too.
Oh my God.
You know? And an
Yeah.
interesting story, a buddy of mine, he owned a shoe repair store. Great guy. And he married somebody he had gone to high school with, a couple of years behind him. They got married. She was young. He was a tiny bit older, but she'd never partied, never gone out, never kind of sown her wild oats. She had a new friend who was a female, and they started going out, and it ended their marriage. I'm compressing a lot of stuff, but I just remember thinking, wow, and he was heartbroken.
Well,
He
she was too
heartbroken.
young. She didn't get to sow her oats. I'm
Yeah.
a full believer in people sowing their oats.
Yeah, those college years,
Oh,
you're
and having-
maturing in that time. At least you should
Dating
be.
people that aren't right for you. There's no better lesson than dating people who aren't
Yeah.
a match. And you go, oh, okay, I'm not that kind of
Yeah,
person.
because it's dating, and
yeah.
you're not.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
important.
Well, we have William, we have Meow,
Meow.
Mr. Robbie. Again, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Sylvian, we see you out there. This has been a lot of fun, and we're going to do it again.
Yeah, we covered some great topics.
I feel
did.
therapized.
Yes, therapized.
We talked about birthday cake. We talked about Indian food and pornography. There you go. Bam. JJ and Johnny live from Las Vegas.
Oh my God, no press conferences coming up. we're gonna do a little redirect on the channel. Right
Speaking of
now.
pornography, I hope you all enjoyed me playing with my microphone.
Well, this and the other video.
Live from Las Vegas. So John and I just shot an audition for a project, and we're going to end it with like, "See you from Las Vegas." And then we decided, I don't know, that gesture's a little bit.
That might be taken the wrong way.
What do you guys think? Let's show them one more time.
Guys, they're rolling the dice. Obviously.
Rolling the dice, you guys.
Bunch of perverts.
Gosh. Can't we just do a podcast without getting comments like that in the chat? You guys behave yourselves in the chat.
Something yummy, loved it.
Hi, Bill D. Good to see you. All right, guys. Love you. See you soon. We'll be back.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
great
everybody.
week.
Bye, Cass.
Keep it up.
Bye, JJ.
Bye-bye.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Bye-bye.
Quack, 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 quack.